Hey guys, I'm Long Hannah. It's been a good bit. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a YouTuber. It's just something I like doing for fun, and if I have a video idea and really want to do it, then I do it, and I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I got new glasses, and I don't know, I really like them. Do you guys like them? Today we're doing a top 10 TV and movie list that I've watched during quarantine. So these are all movies I watched during quarantine. I have an honorary mentions list. They are movies that either just didn't sit with me as much as the other ones did, or I might have rewatched them over quarantine and I watched them before quarantine anyways. Strictly quarantine movies. My boyfriend got into a big movie binge. Unfortunately, a lot of these are rated R. I'm gonna do my makeup. Hopefully it turns out good. I tried doing this before. It didn't turn out good. I hope you can take away from this movie list and enjoy some of these movies, because I did. I'd rewatch them. So, quick update. I like to mention some movies I have watched since I've recorded this. 3 of them. One of them is Eternal Sunshine in a Spotless Mind. That would be honorary mentions list probably. And then both of the Blade Runners I've watched recently. So Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. I love them a lot. They probably would have made it on my top 10 list, but I want to let you know what I've watched and recommend them, and I hope you have a chance to sit down and watch them possibly. So, back to the video. Sorry about that. MAC strobe light cream, or strobe cream, and it's the pink one. It comes in 3 different colors, I believe. These movies are not necessarily new. Some of them are newer, some of them aren't. My honorary mentions list: 2001: A Space Odyssey, Fargo, Kill Bill, both volumes, Pulp Fiction, Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a good one, I like that one. Where the Buffalo Roam, Making a Murderer, Marriage Story, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood almost made it on the list, but I watched it in Christmas, so it kind of doesn't go with this. Before I begin my list, I like taking the Infallible Matte Pro Matte L'Oreal Paris in shade 102. It is kind of dark for me, so I like doing that, and then mixing with another lighter shade that I typically use in the winter. Water Weight MAC Studio in shade NW13. Again with the foundation, and we will also begin with first ones on my list are going to be TV shows. They are ranked kinda in my order from least favorite to favorite, but I'm going to put the TV shows first, if that makes sense. Least favorite to favorite, and movies are going to be the same. Some of them are hard to decide, so I wouldn't necessarily rely on the order religiously. We're going to start with the TV show Mindhunters. Now, this is on our number 10 spot. Let me start off with giving you the plot. Mindhunters is based off a book, actually, a non-fiction book. It's about the development of the FBI behavioral unit, understanding serial killers and their motives, and classifying them. And I don't believe the characters are necessarily real in this show, but I know it's based on that book and based on the development of that unit. It's basically about 2 FBI agents. They started it by understanding the psychology of a criminal and how they can use that to their benefit in profiling them and understanding them, and then being able to catch them or prevent them in some cases. They had really good actors for the serial killers. The serial killers they interviewed in it were based off real serial killers. Actors portray Charles Manson, Ed Kemper, Son of Sam. The acting was really good, but it was just a very interesting topic to go and delve into. My only problem with it, which is why it's at number 10, is that some things are added into the show where it feels like why is it there? Like, there was no need to add that. It just distracts from the plot, basically. And some points it feels like there's a consistent plot. Some points it feels like it's more episodic. It's hard to explain without watching it, because you get different vibes from it. Number 9 is Westworld. Now, Westworld's been out like 3 or 4 years now, and this was, I don't know if it still is, my boyfriend's favorite TV show. So Westworld is about a futuristic dystopia, arguably. My boyfriend told me was that it's supposed to be based on only 30 years in the future. This is a world that has developed AI to the extent that they look like us, and you can't really tell the difference between an AI and a human. They have parks, and these parks are basically like amusement parks. The best thing to describe it as, the rich. So once I have more money, can go and pay to go into them. So you go in, everyone looks like real people, and they all are set on their own kind of story, narrative, and backstory. It's just kind of a morality-based show. The main reason why I like it is it's very thought-provoking. I told you everything's basically rated R, but even the shows I'm mentioning are like TVMA. This one has everything. It has nudity, violence, drugs, drinking, tobacco, all that, and it's like really over the top with all that, but it doesn't feel like it. It's there for a reason. So it's all about world building. This Westworld, I'll recommend it. There are 3 seasons and they're long episodes, so sit tight if you want to watch them. Did this off camera. So we are at number 8, Dark. This is a German TV show, and this is the one that might be my boyfriend's favorite instead of Westworld. It does have subtitles as well as dubbed, meaning that they have American actors voicing over it if you would like to watch it like that. It's one of those shows that's hard to explain without spoiling anything. It's about 2 kids that go missing in a small town in Germany, and basically about the families in this town and how they are connected. I hope this isn't spoiler, because I think it defines this show as this genre. It's sci-fi. It's very close to home, and I think that's why I like it. It's a sci-fi that I like. Westworld. Westworld's futuristic and very different, but it still feels very realistic. This one especially. And it has many twists in it. I can't give much more without really spoiling it. Sorry I couldn't say much about Dark, but you know, it's just one of those shows. So our number 7 on our list is a movie called Enemy. It has Jake Gyllenhaal. He plays a college professor that seems to not have everything in his life that he wants. He's still not satisfied necessarily with how his life is going. And he finds a actor that looks exactly like him, like doppelganger. He becomes a bit obsessed. He wants to meet this actor. They meet and things just go a little downhill from there. A movie that focuses a lot on the psychology of things, a duality of 2 opposing characters and their personalities. This is a spoiler, but I think it's one that should be said. Some might want you to suffer, but I don't want you to suffer if you watch this movie. If you don't want to know anything, even though this may save you, and I'll do this when it's time to come back. Now, the ending of the movie has a big jump scare. This isn't like a big spoiler, but it has a big jump scare. This isn't a thriller movie necessarily, but it randomly has this jump scare and everyone talks about it, and it's not even a scary one, it's just unexpected. You can come back. We are at number 6. Both Enemy and this movie left me feeling unsure of how I enjoyed the movie. I didn't know if I liked it, I didn't know if I thought it was weird, just didn't know how to feel. one thing I forgot to mention about Enemy is that it's very symbolic, and this movie I'm about to mention is also symbolic. It is called The Lighthouse. Many people have said wonderful things about it, wonderful things, and I'm going to say wonderful things too. But it is a weird movie. It's a lot of symbolism, a lot of interpretation, a lot of craziness. 2 wikis, which are lighthouse keepers that are stuck on this island running a lighthouse, and when they were supposed to get off the island, no one ever came to get them. Basically about them going crazy together. The acting in this movie was like amazing. Like that's what really made this movie for me. I wouldn't say it's a horror, it's a thriller movie with intense aspects and along with a little gore, just a little bit. It's very artsy. 3:4 ratio and it's black and white. The type of movie you have your own interpretation of and there's no really actual explanation. I left the movie kind of feeling uneasy because I didn't know how to take it, but then again I couldn't stop thinking about what it meant. So that would be our number 6. So at number 5 we are getting into the Christopher Nolan movies. So number 5 is Memento. About a man who has memory loss, amnesia. He wakes up, he forgets everything that has happened. And this event was his wife, someone broke in and killed his wife and raped her. And he's on a mission to find this guy. Scenes, the order they play them in is out of order. And you have to connect them. It's a movie you gotta pay attention to, but I really love it for the twist, and it's a good movie. Number 4, another Nolan movie. Interstellar. It's a very popular movie. I believe many people would have seen it. I'd define it as a dystopia. I'd say a dystopian world, a dystopian Earth, where their soil is just not good anymore. They can't grow anything. So trying to find a new planet to live on. And this engineer, he has a family, but he was recruited to basically go into space and look at these planets and see if they are actual options for a new place to live. It's a very pretty movie. It's so pretty. If you easily can find some science confusing, this might confuse you a bit because it talks a lot about how space and time and relativity works together. Gravity affects that, and they're going to be discussing very scientific things when they're trying to find a new world. So it may be hard to keep up with, but you will get the gist if you don't really understand that much science. We are down to top 3 and I'm not even like halfway done with my eyeshadow. The 3rd movie I put on my list is Nice Guys. Now this is a comedy. I'm sorry I don't have many comedies. I love comedies. They are some of my favorite movies. I don't like cookie cutter comedies. Nice Guys is basically about 2 detectives, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. These guys are on a mission to basically find the mystery behind a porn star's death. It's a type of comedy where it feels like it's has a bit of everything. It has drama, has action, has just like there's some heartwarming moments too. One of those comedies that almost feels like a family movie, even though it has inappropriate scenes in it. I watched that one twice during quarantine. Sorry if I speak weird because I have bad pronunciation, and I went to speech therapy when I was a kid and I did plays and had good pronunciation at one point, but I think I lost it, so I'm sorry. I did a half cut crease. I tried to. So I can just put the color on now. NYX palette. I'm doing this. Number 2, which number 2 and number 1 are really close to each other. It was really hard for me to pick. Prisoners. Now, Prisoners has Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman and a family friend who both of their families recently just had their daughters abducted. It's about the morality of taking justice into your own hands. Jake Gyllenhaal plays basically a detective. I don't think he's a cop. I think he's a private detective. It's a good story. It's good acting. It's once I get to these movies, I just don't know what to say besides I enjoyed them a lot. I just enjoyed this movie a lot, so you should watch it. I know my wings are kind of not the same, but it's fine. It's okay. The last movie on our list, number 1. This one is called The Departed. It has a great cast, first of all. It has Leonardo, you know who he is, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and Mark Wahlberg. It's about basically the mafia. I'd say it's more like a drama, action maybe? 2 guys, one who works for the mafia and goes into the police force undercover, and one who works for the police force and goes into the mafia undercover. And it's about these 2 opposing guys. And it's another movie that's not really afraid to do anything, making people feel sad or uncomfortable. The movie itself was really kind of enjoyable, and though it may not be a lighthearted theme, it feels somewhat lighthearted, or just keeps your attention too. Like, I left from it thinking, I feel like I could use a rewatch of that because I enjoyed it that much. Let me finish this up really quick and then we'll do a little goodbye, I guess. I'm actually really happy with my eyes today. I'm glad I achieved what I had in my mind. I had other ideas to do a different YouTube video, like I got my daith pierced. It's been almost a month now, and I didn't know if you guys would want to see that. If you have any other piercing questions, or you just want me to go through all my piercings and talk about this one a little bit more because it's new, I'd be happy to, so just let me know. I'm really happy I got to do something like this because I'm not a movie reviewer, but it felt planned and it felt like an actual YouTube idea rather than like on the spur. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I'll see you, I guess, next time I record. I'll be going back to school soon, so hopefully there'll be time. Check out my other YouTube videos and have a good day.